the Curve-Unplugged. I am Cola T. Harris, and today we are talking about what it means to be a provider. And on the couch we have...
Hi everybody, it's your girl Nikki Dallas,
Coach Keish,
Kina Monique,
and we're really about to dive into what it means to be a provider.
Dive in. Okay. Y'all saw that, right?
Y'all saw how you brought that in.
that like that,
Really?
Right?
Jealous.
Okay, so what does it mean to you, Nikki, to be a provider?
Well, I'm still kind of old school. So for me, it is for a man to be able to, or knows the importance of being able to take care of his household. And I say that as far as it's not as much monetary for me anymore, but knowing that whatever in the house or about the house, whatever concerns the house, needs to be taken care of, he takes the initiative to do that. And I would love a man who can come in and say, babe, I got all the bills, you know, you good. And then I would say, you know, I'm like, you know what, you can handle all like the mortgage, the big stuff, and I'll take care of the lights and making sure we have groceries and cable and stuff like that. So for me, that's pretty much what it is.
Okay. And Kina?
for me, provider, I've never really had a provider as far as in a relationship, because I'm more of a partnership person, and I'm very giving. I'm very comfortable with giving, but I think as a child and a teenager in the early 20s, I never really saw myself with someone who just takes care of everything. I expected to just have a healthy partnership where we equally create this foundation for each other.
Okay. Coach?
I like what she said. I don't know what to think. Because I do agree. I think that the definition of provider evolves over time. And, you know, for me, it's more like knowing you have someone in your life that truly has your back. Because even if they make more money than you, then what happens if the money disappears?
Right.
Does that also mean that their ability to be a provider in the house disappears as well?
Right.
So I'm kind of ditto the Kina partnership.
Okay. You guys have some amazing thoughts on this.
What
I
do you
think
think?
that mine is, because for me, mine was always about stability. So if you can provide stability, then that's you being a provider for my family. I just need to be able to feel stable. It doesn't necessarily have to deal with money, but money to me is a key factor in stability.
Okay.
So, but if there are other ways that you can create a stability for us, I accept that as you being a provider. Yeah?
Okay.
So you said something about losing your money. Like if you get with somebody and they make a lot of money and you have that person that says, you know, I'll pay all the bills. What happens if you've been with that person for like 5, 6, 10 years? You know, even whether you're married or not, you're in a committed relationship, you've been together, living together.
Okay.
What would happen, or what do you feel would change in that person being your provider? Like, would you still stay with them, or would you need to leave that situation now after being with them for so long?
If the premise of our relationship was built on that finance, that money, then I don't see how the relationship survives.
Right.
Because I do feel like as your partner in the relationship, their role in your life, their place in your life, the importance of them in your life, you have to define that. The couple needs to define that.
Right.
And for some, if all they brought was the money, and now the money is gone, then their usefulness, their importance to the relationship is gone.
Right.
So I can see how that could be challenging.
I disagree, because I mean, just from my perspective, I know I would be a person who has my own. So if that was the case, I would be able to step in. Now we may have to downsize and do some different things, but I would be willing to take on that role while letting him find whatever he needs to find to get back to where we need to be or where we are. Because I mean, just in my past relationships, I've had people that have done that and they've lost, and it becomes really devastating to them, more so than myself. So it would be hard in the sense that they're no longer at that status, so they don't know how to deal with it. I can deal with it, but it really would depend on him and what his mentality is, because men seem to go through this really go into this dark space when they get to a place where they don't have a job and they feel like they can't provide and they can't do. So that would be whatever going on with him.
I completely agree.
So I think that with that being said, when it comes to being a provider, at least for me as a woman, it's important for me to make sure that man has a foundation of a good character, because it's okay, because life happens, you may lose your job, but are you gonna get into depression when that happens, or are you gonna switch into warrior mode and then get out there and mend the situation? Because when I lost my job, I had maybe a week or two of being sad and depressed and upset, but I immediately switched into warrior mode, like, okay, I'm gonna make something happen. And as long as that man can get into that mode and be like, okay, I'm gonna get out there, we're gonna be good, that's all I need.
Okay.
But again, I do feel like it depends on what the definition that as a couple you come to as far as being a provider. When Nikki said it would be great to have someone who comes in and pays all the major bills, I think so many women consider that man as a real man. You know, you see it all over the place. A real man would do. So a real man, if that's the case, comes to the table with all this money, and then all of a sudden things change. Look at how many women have been with guys who maybe was in the dope game, right? So he was able to put them in the finest of cars and live in the nicest of neighborhoods and, wear the best of clothes. And then he goes to prison, or something else tragic happens and he may still be alive, but just incapable of maintaining that level.
Right.
Her whole world was wrapped up in what he could give her. So it is very easy for those relationships to suffer damages that can't be overcome because of what they built the relationship on in the first place.
Right. I agree.
Because you hear women say, whatever you did to get me, that's what you got to do to keep me. I've heard that how many times? And that's what they really believe. And if you met him and he was taking you out every night of the week and spending all this money on you, when did you even think to save some money, as Nikki would say? You're on a different level as a professional woman, but how many of those women are saving money so if something should happen, I can step in?
Nobody.
Step in? And do what?
Right.
Right, no.
Nobody. I agree. I agree with what you said in reference to being able to step in. Like, if I were to get a man that was like, oh, I'm gonna pay all the bills, that does not mean that I'm not gonna still do what I normally would do. So I still have a job, I still make money. So I need to be, what?
Okay, continue.
She's talking about
Continue.
hypothetically.
Okay.
She wasn't married.
Continue.
No, but
I'm just seeing this ring keep hitting me in the eye.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a little upgrade.
It's a little upgrade.
It's a little upgrade or whatever. You know.
Yes.
You know.
Okay.
Mr.
Team
Harris.
said. Go ahead.
Mr. Harris.
You know.
Tip.
Okay, stop. Oh, okay, that's a whole nother story, because every time we go out, somebody is definitely like, you look like T.I. And I'm like,
Make his head bigger even more.
right? Okay, but no. If I had a person that was like that, I'm gonna pay all the bills, I would still have like that stash in the back. I'm not gonna be that woman that's like, well, I'm at the mall every weekend and I'm gonna blow this whole entire check, So if he was the breadwinner and taking care of everything, and then oopsie, I lost my job or the company downsized or whatever the case is, then I would definitely feel like, okay, now I can just step in, because I don't understand why, if your relationship is based off of money, like, I got with you because I seen them dollar signs, but then like, I've been with you for 3 years. Is there nothing else that you do for me that makes me want to be here other than give me your money?
Like, I look at, like, I'm thinking about basketball wives and things of that nature, where most of them came into the relationship not having nearly as much of the equity as their husbands.
Very true.
And over time, they've started their own businesses. They started stuff. And even if you don't start your own business, Now we together today. I do nothing. I'm going shopping, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Hermes, whatever. But in 4 years, how much Gucci and Prada and Hermes? I mean, for me, I would
every
get bored.
season there's some new stuff.
That is true. But for me, I know I would get
carry that
bored.
old Celine bag.
And we talk about growing. Like the things I want now, I'm probably not going to want in 5 years.
Very
the things
true.
I wanted 10 years ago, I don't want now. So I think even in the basis of us starting is you pay for everything or you're this and that. There should be some progression or evolving in us. That the question is, even if you marry someone who's like a celebrity or basketball player, what if the next new young chick come along? What am I going to do?
Well, first of all, because if somebody take you from me, baby, I still get my little checks.
Right, you do.
I want my checks now.
Until you get married again.
No, I'm not
going
getting
alimony.
If I'm getting married again, I'm getting married to somebody better than you. So there's that.
Right.
There's that.
And in my case, I never just want to be known as his wife. This is so and so's wife. No, I want a name for myself. So even if I came in and I wasn't working and he was doing everything, I'm still going to start to evolve and try to do something for myself. And most people who have money, I won't say most, a lot of people, they encourage their spouses, hey babe, why don't you that's a great idea, why don't you do this? Like at some point, hopefully the light will go off and there should be something you want to do. Even if it's just go grow a garden.
Right.
Grow vegetables and sell them or something. You got organic vegetables. The next level organic vegetables that you want to do.
I'm doing too much.
Anything.
No, but
no.
She's right.
No.
You should want to do something at some point.
Money has a way of blinding you to all of that. That sounds great. But there was a time where, money wasn't so much of an issue in my life. And it was like shopping till you drop. And if I would have been in the mentality that I am in right now, then I would have invested in my brain, But at that time, me and Nikki was like shopping. Like, yeah, it was enough, bro. I bought enough bras and panties to go to the shelter and everybody get a set, But at that moment when the money was plentiful, you knew some more money was coming. That was what you thought. So you just kept shopping. You're right. You're going to get bored, but when? Because I wore that already. I carried that already. I drove that already. So I need to upgrade. And it's always some more stuff to buy. Now in the age of social media, celebrities, we're trying to keep up with everything that's popping. And money has a way of really blinding you. Think about what happens before you get your income tax check. You get a piece of paper, you write out all your bills and say, I'm going to pay all these folks off as soon as I get that income tax check. And then the check drops. And then you call your girlfriend and be like, we going to the spa.
Exactly.
And then you get to the spa and instead of getting that regular treatment, you get the top of the line treatment. And then you go to the mall and where you would have normally bought one dress, you buy 4 dresses, but then you need shoes. And then you need some accessories. And then somebody selling hair, you got to get that. Money just has a way of blinding you to the focus. And I do agree. I think even being a provider, if I'm with someone who has the money, then I feel like it is my job as a co-provider to also help build a way to make our money make us some more money.
You said co-provider.
Co-provider.
But what I also think social media has now also changed the game because every time you look, there's always women boss, women entrepreneurs. So I think that has also spawned, even if they fake it, everybody want to be a boss. Everybody want to have a business. So it's like even keeping up with the celebrities, but everybody's selling hair. Everybody in here knows somebody who's selling hair.
I do.
Either that, selling some cosmetics, selling something. So it's turned, and I think that's one positive for social media. It's turned all these women into quote unquote bosses. They want to be a boss of something.
Okay, so with the word provider, we typically use that when it comes to male-female relationships. And now that women are so independent and we are bosses now and entrepreneurs, what exactly in 2018, I hate to ask this question, but what do we need men for?
A lot.
Girl,
But
I
I'm
need
saying because
men.
provider 30 years ago was paying the bills and all of that. So now a provider must have been evolved from money to something else.
Well, for me, for
Before
one,
you say that,
Right.
that's
I know
She
she's
had it
really
somewhere.
about to get into it.
That's the accountant
She's really
in her.
about to get
Just
into
clicked
it.
in. So yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need to take a break right there and come back to that's gonna take us a minute to get into. So we're gonna break and we'll see you back.
Apologetic and censored. And girl, unprompted. It's the Curve Unplugged.
Welcome back to the Curve Unplugged, and we are talking about what does it mean to be a provider. When we left off, Kina had just posed the question, what do we need men for?
Boom.
We are the new bosses.
Yes.
And Nikki, you are about to really dive into that. So, I mean, what do we need men for?
For me, besides obvious sex, because I do need some human
interaction.
Yeah. But, I take it more than that. I believe that a man should be the head regardless of whether he's the financial provider, he makes the most money. I will follow. My goal is to follow my man as he follows God. So that means if he loses his job, he gets one leg cut off, he got one arm. As long as he's following God, I'm following him.
The one leg and one arm is on the same side?
Either on the same side or one on the right and one on the left.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's my bigger picture when I think of provider. I would love him to make all the money, but I have come to a realization that the guy I'm with, and my person, I may make more money than him. And that's okay for me.
Yeah.
As long, again, as he knows the importance of what's going on in our household and in our relationship. If something, for instance, something simple to me as going and getting my car washed. I hate going to get my car washed. I hate going to the service station. I hate going to get it serviced. If that's like, baby, you know what? I got it this week. I'm gonna take it to go to get your car serviced. I'm gonna go get the car washed. That's absolutely fine. Even if it's one day, Thursday, baby, I know you normally cook on Thursdays, but tonight let's go out. I know I don't have a whole lot of money, but let's go to Wendy's. Stuff like that.
So that's what I was saying before. I prefer to use the word partnership than provider.
Okay.
To me, let's just have a common goal, and even if that's having our own business or whatever, let's just make sure we meet that goal and we good. We make sure each other is good, because I don't like the old-fashioned thing of you need to take care of everything. Let's just get to where we need to go. That's it.
I still want him to provide me and do all that good stuff. And if he can't, then I'm good with that. Yeah. But he needs to start with that. Lead off for me.
Well, I think for me, it has definitely evolved, the word provider, and whether or not I need a man, because
whether or not you need a man.
Right, because
period?
Well, yeah, because I mean, there's always been a point in our lives where it's like, okay, I got this. Like, you too much. I'ma just take care of me because you really too much for me. Y'all too much. All y'all the same. All of us had that moment. But I think that being now that I am married or whatever, when I do think about not being married, because even though you get married, let me let y'all know, okay, he's still aggravating. He's still gonna get on your nerves. You're still gonna be like, I could do bad all by myself.
Sometimes.
I could, I could take care of myself. You know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of toys in the world. Okay, you do get that moment. But when I really think about it, I be like, well, what I'm gonna do without him? I need him. How I'm gonna roll over when I'm a hug? The pillow? Like you really get that feeling of just enjoying someone being there. Like that he is there.
And the intimacy, not necessarily sex.
Right,
the intimacy that you guys create.
Right, like sometimes I just want to lay in the bed and hold his hand. Like, I just want to hold your hand. He'd be like, what you want? Nothing, I just want to hold your hand.
So I think that the importance in that is two things. Going back to what Nikki said about following a man that follows God. Well, we know I have a wife and not a husband, but God, the path that God puts us on has peaks and valleys. So there's going to be those times where everything that you thought you could do right now, you can't do none of it.
Very true.
That's going to be your valley experience. You have to look at this person in front of you and ask yourself, can I be in the valley with him or her?
Yes.
Because if you can't, then don't.
Girl, you gave me
really
the shivers,
you understand?
baby.
Because no matter where, it is so much easier to go from the valley to the hill than it is the other way around. Because we are on the top, we feeling good.
Yeah.
The day you tumbling down, and you can't catch yourself, you can't catch a break, you can't catch your breath. Is this the person you want to be standing next to, rolling down the hill with? Because if the answer to that is no, then you're in the wrong relationship. because that stuff just is going to happen. And I don't care. And it don't even have to be about the money. It could be a health scare. It could be a crisis of that type of proportion. You know, I've seen videos that bring tears to your eyes of people getting married on their deathbed, or, you know, having to watch someone you love die.
Yeah.
These things happen. Or they go from this one lady on her honeymoon, like something happened and she wound up in a wheelchair on her honeymoon. Like they went scuba diving, some type of bacteria situation happened, and she will never be the same. You know, can you love somebody in the valley? And if you cannot, if that's not going to work for you, because it doesn't work for everybody.
Right, it doesn't.
It just doesn't. It absolutely, and I don't think it makes you less of a person if you say you can't.
Yeah.
You know, I have an asthmatic child, and when he was a baby, I would take him to the hospital. He would always wind up in the hospital. And I was like, Lord, why did you give me this situation that seemed so difficult for me to handle? And then I saw mothers with children on ventilators. And I'm thinking, dang, I thought I had it bad.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine what and there was moms that was still smiling, dealing with all of that.
Yeah.
So now as a wife of whoever, you have to decide for yourself what is important to me. Like what do I need? And if I can't get it out of this person, can I still be with them? And just be real about the yes or no. There are people I dated, as long as everything was good, we good. If everything is bad, bruh, keep it moving. Yeah. And then there's people I was with, there was one person in particular, if everything went wrong, I would have been okay as long as we were still together. So it really matters if you can do that with somebody.
Yeah. And I think that adds to them being a provider, because at that point they're providing you a sense of emotional stability, a sense of mental stability. I think that
food for your soul.
Right. I think that the word provider has definitely evolved from just you make the most money. You know, for me, I never really even imagined that being, you know, I wasn't that little kid that grew up like I'm gonna marry a millionaire. You know, that little girl. Like I just wanted stability. Whoever could bring me that stability, and we understand each other. We mesh. Like we get along. You know, one thing about me and my husband is I could be like frantic, like, oh my God, the world is coming to an end. I can't believe this. We don't have any more trash bags. What are we gonna do? And he's like, babe, it's cool.
It's cool. Grab my Dixie bag.
He's like, babe, it's cool. It's already taken care of. And I'll be like, how are you so calm? This is too much for me, you know? And he is the yin to my yang. He is the calm to my storm, because I'm always up here all the time. And he's always mellow and like, oh, it's cool.
He looks like it. You can see it on him.
So what I'm hearing, that we're not just talking about money.
Right.
So we need someone to also provide that emotional support.
Yes, you definitely need somebody that can create a balance for you, because women, we definitely go through many different phases. Our moods change like that, you know. So I think that having a person with you that can balance out your emotion at that moment is definitely a form of being a provider.
Yeah.
I mean, Kina, have you ever been in a relationship where, you know, you couldn't hold it all together? I mean, were you ever with a person that could bring that balance to you?
Yes, I have. I had a person that was a best friend, someone that I really, really enjoyed being with, and I didn't get to the point where we were financially dependent on each other. We didn't live together, but when it comes to that evolution of the word provider, that's really what I want. I want a best friend. I want an amazing sexual partner. And I also want a counselor. Like, when I need advice, can I get it from you? You know, I don't care about the money. I've always had the mentality that I was going to get my own money, my own stuff. Now, if you got it, I mean, okay, that's nice. But I've always had the mentality of getting my own. But what I want has nothing to do with money at all.
Okay. Coach?
I'm with Kina again. Because I feel like if we could be together, if we could make this work, then we can make money. Like, I want that, almost like Bonnie and Clyde. Like, I want to be able to slap five with you and be like, that was the shit.
Right.
Like, we did that. Look at that, you know. But, you know, if it's we at Wendy's on the 4 for 4, or we sitting at Morton's, like, regardless of where we are physically or geographically, I know that we got each other. And that, to me, is about, like, co-providing. Because feed my soul, and we can make money.
Right. Definitely. Nikki?
I want it all. I do want someone who has money. I absolutely do. But I want someone. I'm like you. I want stability. I need someone who's stable. And being my friend and us being able to have a good time together is important to me, because as we get older, we're going to retire soon, and we ain't going to be able to be away from each other maybe 8 hours a day every day. So now we're in this space together. Can we cohabitate and still have fun and still enjoy each other? So definitely somebody who I can absolutely enjoy their company, enjoy their time, and we can talk, and we can just, I know whatever it is, if he's being funky today, okay, he need a moment. Okay.
Yeah.
We good, but you know, I'm going up to the other side of the house and I'm gonna do my thing. And then when he get calm, and if I'm being funky, he know, okay, let me go play basketball, and we come back together and we good.
Yeah. Y'all got different wings
So
to y'all house? Because you said the other side. Like,
Well, yeah, it could be. On my
Okay.
vision board, I got a castle.
Okay.
This sounds to me like what she said is the cause and what you said is the effect. So you said, I want to have the right person, I want to have a great partnership, and it's almost as if it's inevitable that you guys are going to be financially successful.
Exactly.
And then you get that part, the retirement, the security, and all that other stuff.
Well, it's almost the same. I'm just getting it on the front end, and we still gonna carry it through to the next one.
Okay, here's another thought, because it's just popped in my head. Did you ever think to be with someone that's within your same profession, like your genre? And I'm talking about, you know, our real lives, not the lives that we have to lead in order to get to our real lives.
Okay.
So personally, I never wanted to be with an actor, like negative. Like, I don't want to be with no actor. Like an athlete, okay. An actor, no. Because, like, when are we going to have the time to be together? I just feel like the schedules don't mix up. Like, at least the athletes get a season off, you know.
I've entertained and talked to some accountants, some CPAs.
That's your fake life. I'm talking about your real life.
That's my real life. I'm an accountant.
That's your fake life. She don't know what
She
saying.
is. She's still working
But
on it.
yeah, no, most accountants are boring and they're alcoholics and they're very. But I find, especially the men who are established, are very particular. Like, I know I'm anal, but they take it to another level. Like, the toilet paper has to be this, you have to be this, you have to do that. And I'm more of a happy. I am anal about some things. I'm more happy-go-lucky. Like, I'm goofy. I'm real. Like, hey, let's go to the Grand Canyon and just stand on the thing and, you know, lean over or fall. Don't fall, but lean over. You know what I'm saying? Do little crazy. And most accountants aren't that.
Okay.
So I could not be
They're
with
very
that.
structured.
Yeah, very, very structured. And I'm.
You're giving us a
You're
lot.
giving us a lot
right now.
bitch.
I love it
My
though.
new bra.
But that's pretty though.
Sorry.
Where'd you get that?
Advertise it with
Lane
where's it
Bryant.
from? You know.
I have the matching bottoms, not on today.
Oh, okay.
She do have bottoms on.
You know, I do feel like, you know, having that great friendship, like I think that is so very critical to all those pieces kind of falling together. Because if you have that, then all those other pieces they just fit together. Because I could imagine being with somebody that all the money was there, right? We ain't got to worry about the rent or the mortgage, the car, or nothing. But I can't stand you. Like I look forward to you being gone. I look forward to it's your season to go play whatever game it is you need to play. I look forward to you going to do that.
So
Because
enjoy your money
I
by
could just
myself.
enjoy the peace and quiet and the not having the responsibility of you right now.
Okay.
Because you need too much from.
But that wasn't a question.
It wasn't, but she needed to make that point. I understand.
But in my early 20s, back to the question of can I date someone in my profession? And I am a singer, so I could date someone who was an entertainer or artist, because in my younger 20s, I was way too obsessive and attaching to the people that I would date. And now that I am single, I appreciate that space that you're talking about so much more. So now I'm ready to have a healthy relationship and be like, okay, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. When you come back, we finna celebrate. I'm gonna miss you, and that's gonna make me want you even more. That's it.
All right.
I'm definitely into this conversation. It's very exciting. But we are going to take it to a break right now. You know, we're going to bring it back with some more interesting questionings about what a provider means to you. So we'll be back in 2 and 2. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Curve-Unplugged, with this very interesting conversation about what a provider means to you and how providing has evolved. And we want to make sure that you guys follow us on all our social media accounts. You know, we have the YouTube, which you are watching right now, the Curve-Unplugged, and make sure you have your notifications all lit up, okay? Follow us on Instagram, the Curve Media Group. Hello, okay? And on Facebook, the Curve. And just stay tuned for all that we have. Now, what we're going to get into next is if you can be with someone that makes less than you. Like, and I'm talking about significantly less. I'm not talking about, like, okay, could you be with a man that has no job, but he provides for the home? Keena, put her head down real quick. Like, he has no job, but he provides for the home. He takes care of, you know, you never have to lift a finger at home. You know, he takes care of the kids. If you have kids, and along the way, he makes you feel amazing.
So he's a house husband.
He's a house husband.
Okay.
Could you have a house husband? Could you survive life with a house husband?
You starting?
I'm gonna start. I don't really know where to start.
Start with Keena on this and go. You could bounce over there and then come back, but start here and then bounce and then bounce. Because I'm telling you where that's going.
Right. I think this one will be real quick. Like,
no, can't do it.
I don't know. Okay, let's go with Keena since she put her head down. Like,
my experience, it's 2 parts to it.
Okay.
My experience of what I've seen is men have a mentality of, I want to provide, I want to take care of, that's their nature. So for a guy to be at home, even though he can do it successfully, I always question, are you really happy doing this? Because sometimes it's like, it eats away at them slowly, and next thing you know, all of a sudden, okay, now they want to do something different because it's not in their nature to do it.
right.
Second thing is, it's just, he has to have a job, I'm sorry.
She tried. You saw her try. I'm trying. But no, can't do it.
Because we live in South Florida.
Uh-huh.
You can't really survive here on one income. I mean, it's nice if you could, but come on.
As long as you get every Thursday. Move where you move.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
Keena's final thought is he has to have the job.
Okay.
Okay. I was so scared to go over here.
But at least I said he don't have to provide financially, but he doesn't have a job.
Okay.
Like, he gotta work at McDonald's. I got it.
No.
Look at her face.
No.
Okay, go.
No.
Let's just get this one over with. Because I think me and Coach are gonna have some, you know, we're gonna be able to really get into it. These 2 on the end are crazy.
No.
Go ahead.
Just no.
Just no.
Man don't work, don't eat.
He don't work, he don't eat. But what if he do eat?
Yeah, did he
He
work?
won't be eating
No.
that. What she's saying. And she gonna stop and get her food on the way home and eat in the car.
I'm talking about what if he do eat?
That's good and all, but it need to be some greenbacks coming along with that.
Oh my.
Yeah, no.
What if you never have to take your car to get service ever again in life?
I will sacrifice taking my car, but he has to have a job.
Oh, he not getting in, you in. Tell him.
Ma'am, none. No, none. How you say it in
None.
Greek?
What? I don't know. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Nil. Just
Okay,
no.
Coach. Okay. I think. Okay, go, Coach. Because
I really think that it depends on where he is in it. Like, if he's that guy who wants to lay on this couch, right? And he wants to watch the TV and he wants to play Xbox all day. Like, for him, his life is complete. Hey, baby, see you when you get back. Baby, don't stand in front of the TV. What you looking for?
So could you be?
That's
him?
one guy.
That's
The other guy is the guy who doesn't have a job, but it's not that easy to find one. He's trying, but right now he don't have one.
okay.
I could be with that guy.
Okay.
Because I know where he's at in it. I know what his desire is. Doesn't mean that it's coming to fruition in front of him right now. I was unemployed for a while, you know, and I know that you can apply. Don't mean they're gonna call you.
But is that during the relationship or before the relationship?
Before, during, after. There was
So
some
you would
things
actually
that
go
went that
into a relationship knowing he doesn't have a job
Yes.
and he's looking. For
Yes.
Yeah, no.
If I know who I'm dealing with.
When you find
But
a
I
job,
cannot with the guy whose life goal is to lay on the sofa.
Okay.
That's a life goal.
That's a
for
life
him.
goal. Like,
But a
this is all I
guy
needed.
shouldn't want to date you if he know he don't have a job.
What man do you know is not like that mentality on that guy? He's looking for a replacement for his mama. Because he
Ooh,
probably was at
say
his
that
mama's
again.
house,
Wait.
laying on the couch.
We don't got no rewind button.
You know, he's just looking for a mama replacement.
Oh my God.
You know, because at his mama's house, he was laying on the couch, drinking up all the drinks from the little children. You know, eating up all their drinking up all their Capri Suns, eating their Lunchables, and playing video games and watching TV. So in his world, that's how shit's supposed to be.
But you
Oh
know, I
my
find
gosh.
guys that have that, not that mentality, but the other mentality, and they're not working. They're very difficult to date because they're not where they want to be. So they're very angry. It's not because of you or anybody else. It's just because of where they are in life. So that type of person, I've dated that person. They are very, especially somebody who wants to provide and wants to take care of you. They're very difficult.
Yeah.
Very, very
Did
difficult.
we all watch the movie Acrimony? Did everybody get a chance
I
to see
did.
Acrimony?
I did.
I did.
You saw it? You did not see it. So just to recap a little bit, Taraji plays this role of a young woman she falls in love with this guy who's a big time dreamer. Like he's not dreaming about just making his demo. Not that there's anything wrong with that, okay? But this guy's like he's into some next level scientific
science and
genius type stuff.
Mhm.
So he's made a prototype of his own battery. That's supposed to power like a city.
Yeah.
Right? But it took years for that dream to become anything. And in the meantime, he did not have a job. Like he was just building on this battery. She spent all her money. She mortgaged the house. She did all this stuff. They were about to lose the house. And then right when she said, I am done.
Yep.
You got to go. Get your ass. We're done. It happens.
It came through.
And he gets all this money. He makes buku dollars.
Yeah.
But at that point, she had already checked out.
Yeah.
Right? But could you have been with him in that moment where he was building this thing that, yes, the moment it takes off, y'all life is going to look 110% different.
Let me tell you, I have been waiting for this question because in watching it, my understanding to why she even gave up on him was because of the people around her. You have to stop listening to the people around you.
Preach it.
These people around you are not in your experience. They're looking from the outside and they're looking at what they wouldn't do and what they can't do. And you have to know your own strength. You have to believe in your person. Like she married him and he had nothing.
But I think she did believe in him
She did.
up to a point, but she was getting tired. I think she was on the edge and they just pushed her off the edge.
Right, but let me tell you something. She was on that edge, right? And if they wasn't there with their mouth, she would have been standing on the edge and he would have pulled her back because
With that check.
he went and got it. You know what I mean?
Could you date that guy, Nikki?
Probably not. No.
No.
I believe, you know what? I have a close family friend who's like that. And I love, there's nothing wrong to dream. But I think that's inconsiderate for me. If we're together and you see I'm struggling and you have this dream, but there's nothing, you're not contributing anything. There's no financial, very little emotional, very little sex. That's inconsiderate to me.
Oh, so wait, stop having sex. Because
at one point,
Yeah, he was sleeping in a whole other room.
all I did wish was you could have Ubered some people around or something.
Something.
You
I
had
mean,
that
have some consideration to. At one point, she had 2 jobs. I'm out here working 2 jobs, and you're just like, no, I couldn't, because that's very inconsiderate.
Okay. I want you to see this. Your homework.
Yeah, you have to see this movie.
You got to see this movie.
So about being with someone that doesn't work. I'm married. my husband is a 2-time heart transplant patient, so he can work, but he cannot work. You know. So, and I came into our relationship knowing that, okay, so you probably won't be like have a job. You could get a job, but not a job.
Right.
And because of everything he provides to me mentally, physically, emotionally, I was able to see us further along than just like dating. And I'm not gonna lie to you, once you get into it, you do get frustrated. You know, it is a challenge, you know, but that person that, like you said, like my husband is not the I want to be on the couch person. Like, no, you know, he's not that person. He cleans, he cooks, he takes care of the whole house. Like, the only thing he's not allowed to do is touch my laundry, because no, just you don't do it right. He wants to, but don't touch my stuff.
Okay.
No, wash the dishes or something, you know. So we have, you know, really worked our relationship, our marriage, our unit out into him being the provider. Like he does everything at home. I mean, of course, I still cook, and no, I don't cook. That was a lie. That was a lie. Well, no. I did cook 2 weekends ago.
Oh, okay.
One time.
I did. But he cooks better than me. So that's the thing. Like, he cooks better than me. And he seasoned meat. Boy, you be trying to lick the plate. Like, who knew? I'd be like, can I have a sauce? What sauce is this? He'd be like, babe, I don't even know what I did. What do you mean? Can you duplicate this? This was good. You know, he's a chef and stuff. You know, I'd be like, you want to cook for somebody party? He'd be like, no, I just cook for you, babe. I'm like, oh, that could be money though. But
another conversation.
That's another segment.
But you know, so for me, like, obviously, I can be with someone that makes less than me, or you know, just or is not able to work. I feel like though, babe, okay. I feel like though, if he was an able-bodied being, I would be like, is there not something you can Uber, you can Lyft, you know, like if he was an able-bodied being.
But that goes back to what Nikki said. Like, I think that it does matter when it comes down to
the type of stay-at-home husband you are,
and what can you actually do,
right,
and what can you just not do.
Right.
That matters.
It all plays a part.
You know, it all plays a part. And again, when someone is in your life and you can see that to me, taking care of these kids, keeping this house, like all that to me equals money. Because that's money I didn't have to spend.
Yes, that's,
you know what I'm saying? Daycare, if you got a baby, daycare
is expensive.
They don't play no games. After school care, they don't play no games. And if you don't pay them, they put your little baby out.
Yes.
How your baby out there with a bill on his back?
That's correct.
That ain't right. So if somebody, you know, you have a spouse, that a stay-home husband, little boyfriend, whatever he may be, or she.
Wow, little boyfriend.
And
look, you know they
big.
No, they ain't big after they ain't got no job. I mean, mine's is big or whatever.
Literally, but I'm just saying,
who ain't working.
When it come down to it, you know, they bring in things that take care of the household and take some worry off your back. There's nothing like not having to worry.
Yes.
If you've ever gotten off your job and had to race against time to get to the daycare to get your baby,
talk that talk.
If you ever had to do that, you will understand the value of somebody saying,
yes,
I got you. Just come on home. It's all good.
Yes.
So I do think that the totality of the situation matters.
Yes.
And what do you guys need to make your household run matters.
Yes.
All that matters.
This girl and this money. Listen, this was a great conversation, guys. I didn't realize how different we all were because we meshed so well. It was wonderful talking to you guys.
It was
amazing.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
So, guys, that's all we have for you today on what we feel being a provider means. Hit us up with your comments and your opinions of what a provider means to you. Remember to follow us on all social media accounts because we are there.
And subscribe.
And subscribe. And hit the little bell so you get your notifications when we upload every Monday at 8:30. And this has been the Curve-Unplugged.
All right. Bye-bye.
Apologetic and censored. And girl, I'm proud. It's the Curve-Unplugged.